It's March 2022. I'm laying in bed and I'm struggling to sleep. I've been struggling to sleep for the past hour. I'd had enough. I reach my arm out of my blanket and I grab my phone. And I type in the dreaded letters. P-O-R. I stop. The shame and the guilt it finally caught up to me. My thumbs hovered over the keyboard. I laid there for a minute. I knew. I used to be able to say that I was ignorant, that I didn't know about the effects it would have on the next day. But I knew. I knew what would happen. I preached this self-improvement and this discipline to my friends and my peers and everyone around me. Yet here I was. What I was feeling wasn't imposter syndrome. I was an imposter. I turned off my phone. What do you think happened the next day? Nothing. Nothing happened. I didn't do less work or more work than I would have done usually. I wasn't different emotionally. I wasn't different physically. But I knew. I knew what I'd done last night. And I was proud. This idea around NoFap is that it's supposed to take your mind off of porn and the websites and the addictions and all the triggers that actually make you go jack off. It's supposed to keep you busy and into doing other things rather than thinking about, porn and the videos that are in front of you. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that the self-improvement market or the sector on YouTube is bad, because it's helped me. It's helped me a lot. So I'm not going to tell you it's bad. But I've spent my fair amount of time looking into other channels and into other videos and other people within the sector. And there's always the same video. Without fail. Top 10 ways to do NoFap, or the best way to stop fapping. Everyone seems to know the best ultimate way to stop jacking off. Everyone gives us advice like, oh, you should do your habit tracker, or you should do this, you should do this. And it's endless. I saw the best progress into cutting off my porn addiction through simply making myself busy. When I had other things to do, when it wasn't on my mind that even porn was a thing, or even I had the time to do that, I would go days and weeks and months without fapping. But as soon as I decided to go into social media or scroll through the apps, something would get triggered. You see, when you're horny, what your brain will do is that they'll go into social media, they'll go into these apps, and you will scroll, and you will scroll, and you will scroll, until you find the trigger. What your brain is essentially trying to do, right, it's essentially trying to find a reason for you to actually go onto Pornhub, to avoid the guilt and the shame, and to justify to you and your brain that this is why I did it. Because when you do a bad habit without any reasoning behind it, you feel shame, you feel guilt. But when you have a reason, when you're like, oh, I saw this, that's why I did it, you feel a bit less shameful, a bit less guilty about it. That's what having so many NoFap videos is essentially doing. And you can call me a hypocrite all you want, because I've technically made a video on the topic, but I'm just trying to help. And I'm trying to let you know that when I was trying to cut out my addiction, when I was genuinely trying to stop, and I thought I was progressing, because it wasn't on my mind anymore. I wasn't thinking about it. I would go onto YouTube to see an educational YouTuber, And then there it was, another NoFap video. And then all the memories, all the images came flashing back. And I relapsed that night. Alright, listen bro, okay. If you genuinely want to stop this addiction, I want you to listen closely, okay? Because I know you want to stop it. And I know you're aware of the downsides. And I know you're aware of the problems. So listen closely. I need you, and I advise you, to stop watching NoFap videos. Yeah, it's easy, it's comfortable. You could be stuck scrolling continuously, and then finally come across that one productive NoFap video, and then you watch it and you get your slight dopamine motivation hit, and you tell yourself, this will be the night. And maybe you don't wank off tonight. 2 days later, you've relapsed. And then the cycle continues. You go back onto YouTube, you go back to the NoFap videos. You tell yourself that you're going to do something about it. And then you relapse again. Okay, imagine something with me, right? Imagine you're in a story. This is your book. You are the main character. Because you are, right? You are the main character of your own story, of your own life. And as you know from movies and books, the protagonist, or the main character, he doesn't become respected by the reader or the watcher by simply getting what he wants. If anything, he's hated by the viewer if he just gets everything. He's respected by the viewer or the reader because he's put the relentless hard work through the stretched out saga of pain and suffering to eventually reach his end goal. The real advice that no one's going to give you is to embrace the suck. Embrace the difficulty, embrace the pain, the hardships, the suffering. That's you. Learn to embrace that pain, embrace that suck. Because it's going to suck for a while, and you're not going to enjoy it, and you're going to find it hard. But if you take it as a challenge, take it as a test to your masculinity, to your ability to be a good father, a good husband, a good son, and create your own story to tell. To tell to your wife, to your kids, to your peers. Push through that hardship. Make your life worth reading. Thank you for listening. Go get it.